Hello guys, welcome to MindMajix, and in this special session our trainer will explain everything you need to know about the NoSQL. Before beginning the session, let's look at the topics you will cover in this video. We will discuss about different kinds of operations can be performed on MongoDB. Please check the caption to jump between the topics. If you are new to the MindMajix channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon to get quick updates about the new tech tutorials, free webinars, and career-enhancing shorts from working professionals. Like and share the video with your friends and career aspirants. Without any further delay, let's start the video.
Now in today's session, we are going to see different kind of operations which can be performed on MongoDB. Like how we can limit the method, how we can limit the records, how we can fetch the records, how we can skip the records from the database while fetching it. So all these methods will be seen in MongoDB in our current session. So the first method which we are going to see is the limit method. So why we are going to use this limit method? So the limit method is used to accept only one number type of argument at the same time. Suppose if you want to execute a query with different arguments at the same time, so which will not be possible with the help of limit. The limit method will accept only one number type argument at a time, and it will be displayed with the help of the query. So we have different queries which needs to be executed even with the limit method. So this is the method which we are going to see right now. So the basic syntax in order to use the limit command or limit method would be your DB name, that is DB dot collection name. Okay, because we want to fetch the records from the collection of the database. Collection dot find. Okay, now generally in the previous session we have seen the use of the find method. Why we are using the find method? To get the details of whatever stored under the collection. Okay, so that's why we are using db.collection name, that it will contain the name of the collection, and then with the help of find command it will give you all the details whatever is stored in under your particular collection. Okay, after that find, you are now will have to enter the limit, and limit will be 1, 2, 3, whatever you want to enter. So only that number of records will be displayed to you. So you can check it here now. First of all, use employee. Then db.collection name was employee itself dot find dot limit. Okay, so we have got the result only one record. If you want to see what is there under DB under collection employee, how many entries are there, so you will be able to view it with the help of find command, that how many entries are available. So total 3 entries are there. We have entered limit 1, that's why we have received the first entry itself. If you are adding limit 2, so you will be able to view 2 entries. If 3, so you will be able to view 3 entries. So based on the limit which you are providing under the limit command, based on that it is going to provide you the result from that particular collection which you are specifying in the query. Then we have skip method. So in MongoDB, skip method is used to skip the particular method from your collection. So here, whenever you are going to provide a skip method, or whenever you are going to use a skip method, it will help you to skip the number of documents in your collection. That number of documents will be skipped and the remaining documents will be displayed to you in a result. That's why we are using a skip command. Suppose if you have 5 entries in the database, out of 5 entries, if you want to skip 2 entries, So you need to provide the number of those two entries. What is the number? So after entering that number in the skip command, those two entries will be skipped and other documents or other entries will be displayed to you. So how we are going to use this skip command? The command will be db.collection name dot find and then dot limit, whatever is your limit, dot it will be skipped. So the number of documents which you want to skip, like 1, 2, 3, so you can enter it here. So this is how you are going to use skip command. Your collection name is employee dot find dot limit now if I'm entering limit as 3 dot what is that, skip second. Okay, so now you can see you just got the first one, sorry, the third one, because I have put the limit 3 and I have skipped 2. That means the top 2 will be skipped from all the 3 entries. Only the remaining entry will be displayed. So in such way, if you have 1500 entries and if you want to just display 500 entries, so in that case you can write skip 1000. So then only 500 records will be displayed. So this is how you will be able to use limit, skip and find method at a time. Then we have other command called as sort method. So sort method is used to sort your data. As per the requirement, we are going to sort data under the database. So what will be the command for it? It will be db.collection name, collection name is employee. Okay. db.collection name, which is employee dot find, then dot sort. Now you are going to use here sort method. So what will be a sort method? Based on the key, it will be key. So this will be your sort method, which is used to sort your data. So based on the collection which is available in your database, it's going to sort the value. Once it is done, now in sort method, you will be able to view the collection, like the collection which is available under your employee collection. And all this data is displayed from that particular collection itself. The documents will be displayed in the ascending order based on the sort method which you are using. Sort 1 means the method sort 1 will display you the data in the ascending order. Sort 2 will be displayed the data in the descending order. So as we have put key 1, that means the data is displayed in ascending order. If sort B is there, then the data will be displayed in the descending order. So this is how the sort method is used in your MongoDB. Then we have another method called as create index. So basically, first of all, we need to know what is index. So index are the special data structures that sort a small portion of data. If you have a huge number of data, so from that huge number of data, if you want to sort a data, in that case, we are creating an index. So index are generally used to store special data structures or special structure which is used to store a small portion of the data set in an easy to traverse form from where it will be easy for us to retrieve the data. The data will be stored in a specific field with a set of fields ordered by a specific value. So there will be a specific way in order to store index. And for each index, we will have one value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have to fetch the data from the index as data is stored in it. So first of all, we will have to create index. So the method create index is used to create the index in database. Create index. This method is used to create an index into the MongoDB. Now, how you are going to use this command? This command is used as db.collectionName. Then you will have your find command. Or even if you don't want to use that find command, you can directly create an index. Create index, and under that you need to specify the value. Now, what do you mean by value? So, how many rows and columns? Okay. So, if generally it will be key is to 1. That means one index is created. So, let's see here. First of all, db.collectionName will be employee. Okay. After that, create index for it. Create index. Under that index, now you can enter the value, whatever key you want to enter, and that will be the. Now under that, now you can see number index before 1, number index after will be 2, created collection automatically false. So all this is the data which is created after executing the create index. That means your index has been created. Okay. Now we can have different kind of methods which can be accessed under index. That is Boolean, then unique values, name, string, integer, document. All these are the different methods which will be used under the create index method. Then we have drop index method, which is used to drop the index. If you want to drop any of the index, so in that case you are going to use drop index method. So what will be your value in order to drop the index? db.collectionName, that is db.employee, employee.dropIndex, drop index, and then key and values as we have done. Or you can also mention the name of the index. So it will be again here we will have the key and values as same. Sorry guys, 1 minute. Here it will be title, which is our key, and is to value we need to add, right? So the value will be 1 for it. Once it is done, enter, and this is how your now you will find the error message while drop index method, because we don't have the permission to perform drop method. Now you can see that it is saying can't find index with key title 1.0. Why? Because we have created just index name. We have not inserted value into that index. So it's fetching the data based on the values which are available under index. That's why we are getting this error message. So the basic method in order to drop the index would be db.collectionName.dropIndexes. So in such scenario, your index will be dropped. If you want to get index, we have get index command to get the data for the index. Then we have such kind of different commands which can be used as per the client's requirement or as per the user requirement, where they are requesting data to be gathered from the MongoDB. Then we have aggregate method. Now why we are using this aggregate method? Aggregate methods are generally used to perform different kinds of operations. It could be sum, average, min, max, push, add to set, first, last. These are the basic aggregate functions which are performed. The 3 main aggregate functions are min, max, and average. These are the 3 main aggregate functions which are used under all the DB. So the aggregate method is used here in order to get the aggregate values. So first of all, look at the aggregate function, how we can use it. So your method would be db.collection name dot aggregate and here your aggregate function. What is the aggregate function? Max value if you want. So that would be a aggregate function. Max mean based on the description, whatever you have, you can use that particular function into it. Then we have pipeline concept, which is used in the Unix generally. The same concept is used in our MongoDB in order to store the data. So the pipeline function is used to store data. The replication function is also used to replicate the data, or how the replication is used in the MongoDB. So generally, the multiple replicas are created of one single DB. Generally, we can say that 2 to 3 nodes are created, and that is the replica of 1 DB. With the help of these 3 nodes, you can store the data on those all 3 DB and then fetch data based on it. So that's how the client application works with the MongoDB. We have multiple database and data is stored on multiple database because we are storing a huge amount of data which are in terabytes. So we are using a distributed architecture of our database. And based on the distributed architecture which we are using, the pipeline architecture and replication, these two functions are used in our MongoDB. So replication, that means we are creating replica of our database. Even if one of the server is failed, we can fetch data from different servers. That's why we are using replication function in our database. Okay. Now we need to make sure that the pipeline function is something which is used in order to get like the data is same on all the servers. So whenever any of the operation or any of the data is fetched from any of the server, you are able to get all those data. So how we can add members to replica set, or how we can replicate the data. So for that also we have different commands. So what will be the basic syntax in order to add replica? It would be rs.add. Now rs.add command is generally used to add the number of hosts to your computer. You will have to enter the host name is to port. So based on that host name here, host name and port, where you want to create the data, where you want to create the replica. Based on the host name and the port name, the replica would be created at that particular location on the server. So from there also, client will be able, or the user will be able to fetch data. So one will be the master user and all others will be the client server, you can say, from where we are going to get the data. So this is how MongoDB works, and that is how you are going to get data on the MongoDB. Then we have different concepts here like a sharding, which is already explained you, where you will have two different app servers and which are in a shared mode. So we need to configure those server routers, and so that data can be used in a shared mode in the MongoDB. Now, how we can dump MongoDB data, which is the most important part of our database. So whenever you want to dump the data of the MongoDB, you need to use the command called as MongoDump. MongoDump command is used to dump the data. So first of all, you will have to go to the directory. So here you need to make sure that you are entering the code, IP and code to dump data. You will have to enter IP and port. Based on IP and port, it will be moved to path called as bin and called dump. Okay, once your data is dumped, you will be able to view data at this particular location in your output directory. So basically, the MongoDB dump command is used to dump data. MongoDump, where we need to enter the host name and the port number. So with the help of this command, like the backup of all the database will be created in a separate instance. So whenever one server is going down, with the help of MongoDump command, we will be able to create a different instance or get the backup of the current database. If you want to provide a specific location in order to store the backup of this database, we can provide that location as well while configuring the database. Now, if you want to restore, suppose there is any kind of like earthquake or anything, like any kind of circumstances there, in that case, you want to restore the data from the MongoDB. So you are backupping the data from the MongoDB data. So we have command mongo store. So from mongo store command, you will be able to restore your data. Sorry, mongo restore, not mongo store. It would be restore. So with the help of mongo restore, you will be able to restore the data from MongoDB. So if your data is getting lost or it's getting wiped out, so you have the basic syntax called as mongo restore. You can use this basic syntax or the command mongo restore to restore your data from the database. If in case your data is corrupted or if your data goes, like if it's corrupted due to any of the issues, we have command mongo restore, which can be used to get the data backup from the backup database. Then mongo start. This command is used to start your Mongo database. Whenever you are starting your database, you need to make sure that your basic operations which needs to be performed on your database needs to be like those operations needs to be performed in a specific way. So for that, your database should be efficient or it should be in a status that all these operations can be performed on it, or it should be in an active mode, you can say. So for that, you need to make sure that your MongoDB is installed in a bin location and MongoStat function is used so that the database comes to an active mode. Once your MongoDB is in active mode, then you will be able to perform all these operations in order to store data on the MongoDB. We have these kinds of different commands which we are using for MongoDB to provide or to bring it to a specific location and to bring up it in an active status while the clients are executing or while users are trying to execute query on it. So first of all, you need to make sure that the installation is done properly for the MongoDB. Secondly, you need to verify whether that MongoDB is stored or it's stored at the correct location in your computer. If it's stored or if it's downloaded at the correct location on your computer, then it will be easy for you to dump data to restore, like to execute the queries for dump data to restore data of Mongo. If you want to create backup for it, it will be easy for you to create backups and to create Mongo store or restore commands. Like these commands will be easily executed and the data will be easily restored from the database if all the paths are mentioned correctly and the MongoDB is downloaded at the correct location. That was all about today's session. This is how you will be able to perform different operations on MongoDB, how you will be able to restore data, how you are going to create collections and create backup for your MongoDB. So just go through the sessions and go through each and every command carefully. Create each command carefully. Make sure that all your paths are entered correctly and this procedure or the queries which you are creating are created correctly with the help of limit, find, escape commands. Then MongoDump and MongoStat functions needs to be used very carefully in order to restore data or to create backup of your database, because this may lead to data vanish, like in case where your data may get vanished or your data may get lost. So for in that case, you need to make sure that you are using these commands very carefully for your database. That's all about MongoDB. Thank you and have a good day.